Victorious eschatology, embracing a future rooted in hope and triumph. What if everything you've ever feared about the end of times is not only misplaced but entirely contrary to the truth? Imagine a vision of the future that isn't fraught with despair but brimming with hope and certainty. In a world where darkness often seems to reign, the concept of victorious eschatology offers a radical alternative: the belief that the ultimate culmination of history will be one of triumph and renewal, rather than destruction. Victorious eschatology challenges the deeply ingrained narratives of doom and apocalypse that pervade much of modern thinking. It invites us to reconsider what we know about the end times, not as a cataclysmic event to be dreaded, but as a glorious transformation that all creation eagerly awaits. This perspective finds its roots in the Christian tradition, particularly in the teachings of Jesus, who proclaimed the coming of the kingdom of God, a kingdom not of defeat, but of victory. At the heart of victorious eschatology lies the conviction that the forces of good are not in retreat but are advancing, steadily ushering in an era of peace, justice, and divine order. This approach contrasts sharply with the often bleak eschatological views that predict an inevitable decline into chaos before the ultimate redemption. Instead, victorious eschatology asserts that the kingdom of God is not merely a distant hope but a present reality, unfolding with each act of love, justice, and mercy. This theological perspective is not without its challenges. It demands a shift in mindset, a departure from a fear-driven outlook on the future to one of confidence and active participation in the world's redemption. Influential figures like N.T. Wright have advocated for this interpretation, emphasizing that the resurrection of Jesus is the definitive victory over death and decay, a victory that will be fully realized in the renewal of all things. For spiritual seekers, embracing victorious eschatology can transform how we live today. It encourages us to engage with the world, not as passive observers awaiting the end, but as co-creators of a future where God's will is done on earth as it is in heaven. It calls us to act with boldness and faith, knowing that our efforts are not in vain but are part of a grand narrative of victory. So, as you reflect on your spiritual journey, consider this: what if the future isn't something to fear, but something to look forward to with great anticipation? How might this change the way you approach your life, your faith, and your purpose? Share your thoughts and be part of a conversation that reimagines the end of times as the dawn of a new beginning.